Welcome to Open Campus Soft Skills Course, Module 9, Part 2, Communication Barriers. In this module, you will learn the definition of constructive feedback and its use in the workplace, as well as the definition of conflict resolution and the different types of conflict management styles. As a recap, what are communication barriers? Communication barriers are anything that prevents the exchange of information from being transferred from one person, known as the sender, to another, known as the receiver. Our focus areas for this module will be on constructive feedback and conflict resolution. Well, what is constructive feedback? Constructive feedback is a type of communication that brings attention in a specific and direct way to an action or skill, not the person, that could be improved. Well, how to use constructive feedback in the workplace? Here are 7 tips that can really be effective when implemented in the workplace. First, whenever there's a conflict or an issue or a disagreement on the job, you want to be positive in your communication regarding that issue. Second, you want to stay focused on the behavior or the action, not the person. That is key when you are offering specific information or insight regarding a performance, an action, or a skill set, to bring all of the focus onto the action or the behavior and to separate the individual from the discussion. Third, you want to make sure that your feedback is objective. Try not to be biased or impartial. You want to be as open and have a sense of purpose and be very focused on the matter. So try not to slant your discussion or your comments one way or the other. Next, you want to be able to make use of specific examples. Make sure that you use specific examples when you're providing constructive feedback. The more specific you can be about a concern, the better, because then it keeps the individual from having to guess on exactly what you're referring to. If there are key examples, just 2, maybe 3 examples that you can offer up that can be of benefit to the individual so that they can grow and know how to make the necessary adjustments. Next, you want to keep it short and concise. You don't want to go on and on about the particular issue when you're giving constructive feedback. You want to make it short and sweet because you don't want to weigh the person down, make them feel terrible about whatever the issue or the concern is. You want to just be short, sweet, and very clear and concise on what you're sharing. Also, you want to be able to focus on the issue and not the person. We wanted to reiterate that because it's the issue at hand and not the individual that you're providing constructive feedback to. And last but certainly not least, be timely in sharing your input. When offering up constructive feedback, the sooner is oftentimes the best, because if you wait and stretch out your comments and your feedback, then the momentum and the opportunity to address an issue in the moment can be lost. So if you're going to be providing constructive feedback, make certain that you're going to do it as soon as possible, because time can certainly be of the essence and of the benefit to the individual so that they can recall what you're sharing and know how to make the adjustments. Well, what is conflict resolution? Conflict resolution is simply a peaceful solution to a disagreement. Now, there are 5 types of conflict management styles, and we're going to look at them in detail. First, we have the accommodating style, where you are kind of giving in to maintain a relationship. Secondly is the avoiding style. This is a non-confrontational approach to conflict management. It is the least effective type of conflict management because you're not dealing with the issues or the matters at hand. You're just not confronting it, you're avoiding it, you're acting as if it never happened. Collaborating style, where you're looking where problems are solved in ways in which an optimum result is provided for all involved. This is the most ideal type of conflict management style. Collaborating style, it provides a win-win for all parties involved. And this is the particular management style that you want to utilize when dealing with conflict resolutions or problems on the job. Competing style, it's a very authoritarian approach to dealing with the conflict management. It's sort of like my way, or I'm the better way, and we're going to go with this way. And it does not leave a whole lot of room for flexibility with regards to making it win-win for both parties. And last but certainly not least, we're dealing with the compromising style. It's sort of a middle of the road, a middle ground approach where everyone is giving a little to get a little, or giving a little to maintain the peace. Now, I want to share with you a very respected and popular chart. This is the Thomas Kilmann conflict mode instrument, and this is a direct instrument that is used for handling conflict. And if you notice, it shows all 5 of the conflict management styles, but they're looking at each style based on 2 dimensions. Assertiveness, which is going on the left-hand side, kind of going up and down, placed vertically, and cooperativeness, which you're looking at from a horizontal perspective. You're looking at the highs as well as the low ranges for the 2 dimensions. Again, if you've noticed, avoiding, it has low assertiveness and low cooperativeness, whereas competing, you're looking at low assertiveness, you're looking at low cooperativeness and high assertiveness. Then if you look over to the other side, to the right side, you'll notice that accommodating, you have a very high level of cooperativeness, but low assertiveness, whereas collaborating is the most ideal type of conflict management style because you have high cooperativeness and a high level of assertiveness. If you noticed on the chart, compromising is right in the middle, and it crosses all 4 quadrants, all 4 areas, because in each of the other conflict management styles, there can be an overlap of compromise when dealing with that specific style, when you're dealing with trying to find conflict resolution for a matter on the job. Well, there are ways to improve difficult communication. First, you want to gather all the facts and don't jump to conclusions. 2, you want to be assertive in communicating. And remember, assertiveness is very high when you're trying to have a specific type of effective communication. You're wanting to have high assertiveness when you're trying to implement a collaborating style of conflict management. 3, you want to be understanding of others. Be empathetic to what's going on, because put yourself in someone else's shoes. You still want to stay calm and stay focused on the matter at hand, not dealing with the individuals, but just the issues. 5, you want to relax and listen to what's being said. 6, you want to use the appropriate conflict management style. And again, we can refer back to the Thomas Kilmann conflict mode instrument. And 7, you want to use appropriate language, both verbal and nonverbal, when you're working on improving difficult communication. This concludes Module 9, Part 2. We are now up to our quiz for communication barriers. I also want to invite you to go over to the resources section and click on the conflict management styles quiz. It's a quick assessment for you to be able to identify what your particular conflict management style is.